And we are live. Welcome to Bout That Life Podcast. If you are here, I appreciate you. I see my subscriber count's been growing little by little every time, and I just want to say thank you for those who've been a part of the community and the journey. Again, hopefully this helps you out. If you're new here and you're not subscribed, thank you for coming. Check it out. Feel free to maybe do the HBO special, help a brother out. But other than that, we got a great show for you. Got two really good guests. I get to talk about a unique journey that I think will relate to a lot of people out there, especially a lot of parents, a lot of dads that want to understand the best ways to potentially navigate this basketball AAU landscape. So please stay tuned. Check out the intro. See you when you get back.
Hey, Bout That Life Podcast. If you're not a subscriber, you need to be. You have to be. You're learning about the game. You're helping your young athlete on and off the court. Check it out. Bout That Life Podcast.
From the YBA Phoenix Fitness 24/7 basketball facility in Rocklin, California, it's Bout That Life Podcast with your host, Coach C.Collins and Coach MJ.
Get it started. 3, 2, 1, let's go.
Hey, welcome to Bout That Life Podcast. I'm your host, Coach C.Collins, where we talk basketball, life, AAU, and everything in between. If you've been rocking with us on the audio side, really appreciate it, man. I know the audio space, this show is doing well. Episode after episode, I'm just seeing, the followers go up, the listens, the downloads, and I can't thank people enough for even when I go to tournaments, people come check it out, and they're like, hey, man, like, just love what you're doing, love the things you're saying. Keep doing what you're doing. Like, you guys don't understand how much I appreciate that. This has been a passion project of mine from day one, and it will continue to be that. You know, I just love sitting down with people, talking basketball, talking life, and just getting people's stories. So hopefully that message still rings true to anybody who's checking it out. But with all that out the way, let me get straight to my guest. This is a part 2, part 1 episode, if you want to call it that. I have a guest here who, has been a really good supporter of mine since day one. I tease him all the time and say he's a ghost because he appears 1 second and then he's gone. But that's because that's just how life works, especially when you're out here busting your butt. But no, if you guys get a chance, I will have the link in the description for his first episode, so you guys can catch up on that. But my first guest who I want to introduce is Deon Taylor. And also his son is here, which is, like I said, going to be a really cool and unique perspective. He's on a very good AAU team, which we'll talk about and get into. But with this being, you are literally like my first kid guest. So there you go. you accomplished something. You were literally my first youth guest. So but his son is here, Noah Taylor, also known as No. He's been a part of this basketball culture for a long time. Rest in peace, courtside. He was over there playing with them for a while. So no, this should be a really cool episode. Hopefully parents, athletes, coaches, everyone gets a little bit of insight out of it, and I'm hoping to talk some really cool topics. But without further ado, let me introduce you guys to Deon and Noah Taylor. Thank you guys for coming. I appreciate it, man. It's the start of the new year, so Happy New Year first off.
Happy New Year, man.
And you guys are literally my first episode in 2025.
That's
so
good, man. We'll take it, man.
Noah, how you feeling? You okay?
Yeah, I'm feeling good.
All right, good. So let's get right into it. So again, like I talked to you about before the show, how this format works. My first question, obviously this is years later, and you've been, people can see your social media. I always have links to social media so they can see it, but you know, you've been watching his basketball journey, being a dad in it, you know, years later from our last episode. What is your outlook of AAU basketball as it's currently sitting, you know, today in 2025?
Oh man, I think when it's done correctly, it's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
When it's done incorrectly, it's awful.
Okay.
But you know, that's why I think parents have to be involved with what their kids are doing and programs that their kids are in, just based on the fact that, you know, I know for me as a former basketball player,
Yeah.
I'm watching everything that's happening with my son, because if you've played at the highest level or if you've played Division I college,
Mm-hmm.
then you know what it takes to get there, and
Yes.
you know what things you have to work on. So for us, for him, it's been a great experience based on the fact that he's also learning,
Yeah.
because he can see when I'm moving him from place to place, and I'll explain, hey man,
Yeah.
I'm moving you because of this.
Right.
But all in all, man, you know, we could call it AAU, you could call it whatever you want to, but it's basketball.
Yeah.
And it's something that we all love, and it's embedded in us, and the game is just fantastic. No matter how you get on a court, what court you're on, it just, to me, it feels like if you're playing the game and you're young, man, that's one of the most beautifulest moments of your life.
100%.
Yeah.
So, Noah, same question kind of for you. You know what I mean? You as a player, as a young player, you know, how are you feeling about basketball? Like, and when I say AU, I'm mainly talking about just the basketball culture, right? The community of it, the sport itself. How are you feeling? How do you, you know, what do you like about it most when you're out there?
I really like kind of how everybody is able to work together in the team
Okay.
and to accomplish one goal, which is winning. I like to see other teams playing as well. It's really cool just to see like how good other teams are, because you know when you're younger you play the same teams over and over.
Right. You don't want to play CTB every weekend, right? or ABA or YBA, right? You want to see other teams. No, I get it.
So it's pretty cool also to see those teams that you keep playing, maybe you keep beating them, to see them get better.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's really fun. I mean, best thing about it though, probably you get to play with your friends.
Mm-hmm.
You get to make friends. And you get to do, it's like if you do make it to the NBA, you could end your career at 30.
Yeah.
And I mean, you have the rest of your life ahead of you, and you could do whatever you want.
That's good. No, that's a good outlook, good answer. And trust me, there's no wrong answers here. So
Yeah,
that's
and you know what he's speaking about is, I kind of instilled in him that basketball is, for me, coming out of Gary, Indiana, you know, at the time when it was extremely bad, you know, or being in the Chicago area.
Yeah, it was rough.
It's a tough world. Basketball became my father, and the game has allowed me to explore the world in every facet that I thought was impossible for me. What he's speaking about right now, trying to articulate to you, is the one thing that we're having conversation about is, man, look, at 12, 13, 14, 15, you can play this game and allow it to do everything for you. It could get you a full ride scholarship to college.
Yeah.
It could potentially get you paid millions of dollars. But you're doing all that with the understanding that the game is going to end 25, 26, 27, you're lucky 30 years old.
Yeah.
And now you have the building blocks to do whatever you want to do for the rest of your life.
Yep.
And that's what I believe a lot of these guys aren't understanding, is that it's not necessarily NBA or bust.
Right.
It's like no, the game gives you so much life when you're trying to figure it out. It gives you experience with teammates. You get to meet people. It becomes a fraternity. And even for me now in Hollywood, been in this business for almost 17 years, it's a completely different conversation when I meet somebody that hoop.
Yeah, right.
It don't matter if they're Universal, Warner Brothers, Lionsgate. It doesn't matter. As soon as I say, man, you play, oh man, and then you have all these, and it just opens up a door for you to have another line of business. And it's funny to speak that out because I'm also of the mindset that if I meet certain people and they tell me they've never played any level of basketball, I'd be like, damn, this probably ain't gonna be a good business person for me because
you don't have that common ground.
It's not just common ground. It's just like the game is so universal. Yeah. It's like if you didn't pick up a ball on the playground growing up, then chances are me and you don't have that much in common. You know what I mean? Because it's not like I need you to play at the highest level, but it's just the camaraderie of knowing that you tried to make a shot or you played on the team. Or it's just, I think that energy is needed. So what I think Noah is saying is trying to explain to you that there's an energy around, man, take it as far as you can go and get everything out of it. Extract it all. Right. And then when you wake up from it, you like, damn, I got the rest of my life. When I finished playing, I was 30. And I'm like, oh man. Now what do I do? Right? and that's the whole thing. So it's pretty dope.
No, it is. Well, let's get right into obviously the dynamic of which I think is really cool to talk about is father-son, right? And helping and supporting in this basketball journey. Now, you obviously you're in a very unique spot in terms of not only did you play the game, you are successful in life in general. Let's just call it what it is. You're successful, financially. You're successful business-wise. You're perfecting your craft each and every day. So it allows you to give him potentially the best opportunities, to put that best foot forward. I wanted you to maybe speak on some of that and, kind of as a dad, some of the pitfalls and things you're trying to keep him from falling into.
Yeah, man. Without the game, then I wouldn't be able to do what I do. Just as a filmmaker, for a lot of people that don't know who I am, I'm a self-taught writer-director. That means I came into Hollywood without going to film school, without any training in the film space.
They don't know your story. You paved your own way.
Right. So I was simply a fan of film. And there's quite a few people like us, Quentin Tarantino never went to film school. It's a lot of guys that just love the art and then they fell into it. Now, with that, I have to make sure people know I'm also a black filmmaker. So there's a lot of opportunities that we don't get as black people in Hollywood or in any position in these worlds, period. Yeah. So we always have to run twice as far. We got to jump twice as high. We got to start from here and then catch up with it. It's always a whole thing. So basketball, the energy around the game allowed me to find my own footing, man, like in this space. So when I'm told no, I'm like, damn, okay, well, I've been told no by 50 coaches. Yeah. If I feel like, oh man, I can't really get to this thing, I work very well with others. That's teamwork, and you understand that I've been in several games, man, where you won it, and there's 3 seconds left and somebody hit the I've been in a bunch
it don't go your way.
Where you go, damn. So it's the only world where you go up and down in a second. Yeah. So Hollywood is that way. Man, you got the deal. Damn.
The next thing you know,
we ain't got the deal. So you got to be like, how do I deal with that? And so I think the game allowed me to have a lot of those intricate moments of how I see things, how I deal with things, allowed me to fly in Hollywood and to get past a lot of things that have stopped a lot of people. With that being said, to kind of counter it with Noah, what's been great, man, is because I played the game and because I lived the game, I also know a lot of things that were done wrong to me.
100%.
We have to remember coaches are human.
Yeah.
They're not. When you're young, you're like,
Right.
oh, that's coach, man.
Yeah.
Then you realize when you get older, like, damn, he
Like,
didn't like
yeah,
me.
like he didn't like you, or,
You know what I mean? Like,
or
he-
maybe he wasn't a really good coach because he was limited in his knowledge,
That's
right?
exactly
You know
right.
what I mean?
Or he didn't play the game,
Yeah.
so he don't really know. So what I'm navigating with my son, man, is I'm not the dad, you know, on the bench at the game telling you what to run. I can't. I'll sit back. I'm the dude screaming and yelling. Get the rebound! I'm not get the rebound.
So you let the coaches coach.
Man, they got to. That's why you let them be.
Yeah.
You know, but what I'm educating Noah on and what I'm paying attention to is because I'm let's say I'm a graduate of basketball.
Yes, yeah.
I know when someone's doing it wrong, someone's doing it right.
Yeah.
And so all I'm doing is becoming the guardrails to be like, nah, we're not really gonna do that. We're gonna leave. You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
yeah,
Or
yeah. No,
hey,
100%.
that's not the correct thing he just taught you. We're gonna do this. And educating them on, no, man, listen, everybody in AAU basketball think they gotta score 50 points. Guess what? They knew who LeBron was at 10.
Yeah.
So what do you do outside of scoring? Like, can you pass? Can you rebound? Can you defend?
Yep.
Now, what made me really drive him was he has what can't be taught. He got some dog in him.
Right.
And I've run past a lot of kids, man. It's not just because he's mine. I had to watch.
Yeah.
Like I didn't even work with Noah until probably like the last year or so. I'm like, come on, man, let me start
Yeah.
showing you things here and there. But when I seen that he had the dog,
That's what you
when
need.
I was like, oh man, wait, he finna fight. When I'm like, oh, he gonna fight out there. That's when I was like, okay,
Like, he's taking this serious.
Yeah,
Like, we
now
gotta
I
hit
can
that.
now
Yeah,
I
yeah.
can help because now I know when you have that,
Mm-hmm.
when you have a burning desire in anything, it could just that's transferable. So now if you could work on your skill set, if you could use that energy, that is all transferable. My dog mentality from basketball and my dog mentality from playing the game is the same exact passion and burn I have for film.
Yep.
Right? You can't teach it.
No.
So people are like, damn, we can't knock him out. No, you
No,
can't,
you
because I'm going to get right back
'cause I'ma
up.
keep
I'm going to
doing
shoot
this.
something else.
Yeah.
Oh, that didn't work? Oh, okay, but I'm going to go this way. Once you have that, man, you can do everything. So a lot of what he's learning in basketball is also life. A lot of times when
Yeah.
you ride in the car at 11 years old, he's like, man, what is he talking about? I'm like, bro, this is your life. This it right here, bro. You hear what I'm telling you? Like, he like, man,
Yeah.
what? But then I started learning, oh, man, Noah actually can grasp on what I'm telling him.
Good.
And it's a big deal, man, to have your son be able to listen because as a father, our jobs is to throw our kids further,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Not to compete with them, not to let me
We
see what I used to do.
legitimately want to see our kids do better than us.
I believe every father does.
Yep.
And what we have to try to figure out with each individual kid is how do I communicate with them because they become an age 11, 12 is great, but then when you start getting 13,
Oh yeah,
14.
you're gonna be a different person. Let's
now-
make this clear.
now, guess
13,
what?
14,
I know
15.
this. I know that. No, bro, you don't know. You don't know. And that's part of what I believe makes pros.
Yes.
So if you look at Brunson and his son,
Yeah.
right? You're like, well, how did he become? Because he listened.
Yeah.
Because he paid attention. You look at Gilbert Arenas right now, what he's doing with his young son.
I mean,
like,
the biggest, or if you want to say the biggest one, is Del Curry and Steph Curry. Right?
They are receiving the information,
Mm-hmm.
processing it, and then actually applying it. If someone's giving you the answers to the test,
Yeah.
you don't go, nah, I don't really like that answer. I'm gonna do it myself. Like, no, bro, I'm giving you the answer.
Right.
And it's unfortunately for us, a lot of times in our culture,
Yeah.
it's met with resistance.
100%.
Right? Information is rare. Information is not given to us. It's like you have a podcast. I'm like, yo, bro, here's what you got to do to become the pivot.
Yeah.
And you go, nah, bro, we ain't the pivot. Take the information, utilize it, and then then make it go forward.
Yep.
A lot of times we too stubborn. Our ego's in the way.
True.
We don't want to listen. Oh man, he trying to sabotage me. No, man. If you just listen, somebody can give you the information that will actually change your life.
Well, I like that word you said, ego, because a lot of times, like, unfortunately in our culture, we don't know how to, I'm obviously speaking on black men, we don't know how to humble ourselves to receive some of the stuff that I think can help each other. You know, it's always kind of like this adversarial mentality of, no, I got to get it myself, or I got to do it myself. It's like for some reason we take a little too much pride in us against them in terms of, or like, you know, when I mean us, it's like myself against every other podcast out there, or, you know, instead of just trying to think like.
That's built in us though,
yeah.
man. That, and that's something, that's a whole nother podcast.
Right. No, that's true.
That's systemic.
Yeah.
And for every young black kid out here watching this podcast, every black man watching this podcast, you have to understand that's a trait that has been put in you. Mm-hmm. Hate is a trait that's in us. Yeah. Okay? Like it, for some reason, people don't want to have a conversation. Oh, the man trying to stop us. It's the man.
You got it, Joe?
The man trying to stop us. No, but it's a trait that's inside of us. What happened?
Oh, nothing. Fixing this. So get this out the way.
Can you do that while the podcast live? What's happening right now? What type of shit? What type of shit is this, man? That's a trait that we have to understand, that when you feel that, we have to actually beat that feeling down and get rid of it. Yeah. It's every one of us has seen somebody get something and we like, damn, I should have had that. Yes. Whether you say it or not, it's there. Mm-hmm. Right? And we're the only people in the world, bro, that have to select one. Right. And I've said this to you before. It's like Michael Jordan, LeBron. Right. We argue until we get into a fist fight.
That's just the culture. Instead of just saying they're both great.
No, bro, they're both great.
They're both great.
But we're programmed to be like that. Yeah. And that's no different from podcasts. That's no different from, you know, somebody doing business over here versus that business. It could only be one. Yeah. And that right there, man, is what has to change, because that kills us. Because what it does is when someone has the ability to actually go do something great and then bring it back to the hood, they can't, because then they got hated on, then they got killed.
It's met with resistance.
It's met with resistance, and people don't know, like, oh no, let him get off, because he could open the door for us now. Mm-hmm. Paul George Elite, the team that Noah's on, it took us a couple trips to go. Yeah. Now they're the number one team, 11U team in the country. Yeah,
we're going to talk about that for sure.
Yeah, but the one thing that's unique about them is him. He is Draymond in the team. Really? So he's playing every position he needs to play. Okay. He's everywhere he needs to be. He'll defend where he needs to defend. Nice. He's not worried about scoring the ball.
Like being the focal point or whatever, like you said. Yeah.
Because he has two generational pieces of talent on the team with him. Right? He has Marcus Price's son, mm-hmm. JoJo, who is a phenom. He has TJ's son, you know, King Tari's a young kid that's on the team. These kids are dynamic. He is dynamic. Yes. But if you had a team with three scorers, that ain't what it is.
We need somebody else.
You need somebody that's uniquely different. Right. That will do all the other things. If you need him to get 20, he'll get 20. Right. If you need him to get 25 rebounds, he gets 25 rebounds. You need a guy on the team that's like, nope, you open, I'm swinging it. Yeah. And that's basketball, man. Yeah, and I'm telling him that at the highest level, this is where you want to be focused on. You want to be the person that's able to do the other things that people don't want to do. That's how you're going to get to where you want to get in life.
And I think it's really profound and cool that you're saying that as a dad, because you know as well as I do, you've been around enough for this AU culture. Most dads wouldn't say what you just said. Just saying, I'm proud of the fact that my son is basically in this in-between role where he's doing everything but scoring, right? Because everybody wants to fixate on score. Like, and, you know, it's like, let's keep it real. Yes, you do have to score. That's how the game works. But it's the process of how you get to that shot that I don't think enough people focus on. They focus on the shot. They don't understand that there was a whole action and a whole series of events that happened before the shot was made. And those people that allowed that to happen are just as valuable as the person who took the shot.
It might be more valuable.
Yeah, yeah.
Because anybody, you're not going to play any level above AAU where you go between your legs 6 times, wrap it around your body, and then do a layup. You're not gonna play on anyone's team where you get a fast break and you throw it between your legs and you do it. No coach in America at the next level is finna let you do any of that.
Exactly.
So at the end of the day, can you score the ball in 2.53 seconds? Can you make a move or get off the ball?
Yep.
No. Can you swing the ball legitimately with a great pass? Can you get down and play defense for 40 minutes in a game?
Yeah.
Can you Can you take a charge?
Right.
Can you? Those are things that coaches are looking for. That's what I'm teaching my son. Get a bucket. He get a bucket every time. I'm not worried about that.
Right.
And like I told him, I said, bro, if you get half of what I had jumping wise, if you get, I'm telling he right there.
Yeah.
I'm like, bro, you get half. Now he used to laugh until people came up to him.
Did he see the old videos of you?
He probably seen old videos, but people
like,
like, man, your dad used to. I legitimately had a 44-inch vertical leap. I was an anomaly. I could jump really high.
Yeah.
But I'm telling him, bro, you're gonna have all of that. Like I could tell, and that's why on certain teams I would say, hey man, listen to other dads out there, moms listening. This basketball is positionless when they're this age.
Mm-hmm.
If you have a kid and he's playing under the basket all the time, under the game, every game he's under the basket. No. When does he get a chance to dribble the ball up the court?
Right.
When does he get a chance to swing it and shoot the three-pointer? Why am I saying that? Because these kids are going to grow and be different. Most times all these kids going to end up being the same height.
Yes.
So now you got one kid from 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 that ends up being 6 feet tall that has been a center his whole life. So now when you get ready to go.
When he's in high school, he's struggling.
He don't know what to do.
Because you can't be a 6'2" center.
Right, because now all the other kids have surpassed him because they now have a skill set he doesn't have. And now it's too late. So for me, I'm going like, nope, it's universal, bro. He can bring the ball up because he's better, but you will make sure that all these kids get a chance to bring the ball up. We had that happen to us, Vegas. Noah had not had a chance to bring the ball up. But I'm telling him the whole time, I'm like, man, bro, you're an athlete, so you're going to figure it out what a lot of kids won't. They got to Vegas in the championship game a couple years ago. They could not bring the ball up the court, the people that normally bring the ball up.
Right.
Guess what?
He said, Noah, here.
Give it to Noah. Noah, power it down however you can because you're an athlete. So you know what I mean? Because now he's using all of his athletic ability because you're not going to take it from him. He's strong enough to pick it up, right?
Then he can make a pass.
And he can make a pass. So I'm like, now you got to learn like that when you could have let him be dribbling the entire time. And now when you need a strong guard to bring the ball up, that's what it's going to be. So a little bit of it is like just knowing what we're trying to educate them on and then drawing a line so they understand why they're doing it and making sure coaches know, man, at 11, 12 years old, man, it's not the NBA, bro.
No,
like,
it's not the final product.
Kids is going to other teams. Why they go to that team?
Yeah.
Like, bro, look, he went to that team because he's going to have a better opportunity as a young man to be seen. You should instill that.
Right.
You should applaud if you have a really good player on your team and he goes to another team that's going to give him a better shot. I feel like, no, bro, go. Or get your program up to where other kids want to come to you.
Yes. Yeah,
right?
That's where it's the balance.
Oh, man, it's so crazy out here, man. I'm learning.
Yeah,
this is my first child in AAU. So for me, I'm going like, wait, why y'all doing that?
Exactly.
Now I've learned the energy around it with him. Now I'm like, all right, well, we got to figure it out.
Yeah.
You know, so I just tell him, it don't matter what uniform you put on. It don't matter who in front of you. What I say, if whoever's in front of you, do what to him?
Kill him.
That's the right way. That's 100% the right way. Well, then, now it's your turn to talk. I want to hear you
Sit
talk.
up a little bit, Noah. Sit up.
I want to hear you talk about, you know, how, like, obviously your dad is your biggest fan.
Yeah.
and probably one of your toughest coaches, right? As he should be. You know, how do you feel about that? How does it feel like, you know, like you said, having dad out there saying, come on, man, grab the rebound, but also cheering for you and trying to, you know, he's helping you be on teams that are challenging you. Like he just said, he's proud of the fact that you're this versatile player who can do everything. I mean, how does that feel from your side of it?
Well, I mean, it's helping me a lot. Like, sometimes I'd be on the block doing nothing, and then he'd be screaming at me, flare, flare, flare. I'm like...
Does it wake you up?
Yeah. And then I go out and I end up getting something. I end up getting a shot attempt or getting Bucket, I mean, because he played the game so long, he has so much experience. He kind of knows what to do, and I know I need to listen to that.
Okay. And, I mean, do you feel good having your dad, like right there supporting you like that and, helping you out?
Yeah, it makes me feel a little bit more comfortable,
Okay. And let's talk, and I also do want to talk about your team currently right now with Paul George Elite. You guys had a chance to play out here with in the Made Hoop stuff this past weekend, which we'll talk more about. From what I was told, because I didn't get a chance to go to your game, but Joe, my producer out there, and then Elijah Wan was there too. And but I heard a lot of great things about your team, like just in general, like the way you guys play, how talented you are, whatnot. How are you feeling about the team and your teammates, and how do you like it?
I mean, I like it a lot. A lot of them I have played with on other teams, and then we went to that team.
Mm-hmm.
I'd say maybe half of the players on that team I've played with before. Okay. So, the chemistry is kind of already there.
Nice.
But we play really well together. We're not selfish, I feel like. If somebody is selfish, this coach going to scream at him.
That's good. That means you're being coached. That's good.
But the team is really good. We work together really good. Make sure everybody is able to get a shot, especially if we blowing out a team, we would make sure everybody gets 5-10 points,
Okay.
Even if they coming off the end of the bench.
Are you guys really supportive of each other?
Yeah.
Like, are you the type of kid that's going to be cheering on the bench and when your teammate's doing well? Like, let me ask you this. If you're having a bad game and one of your teammates is having a good game, are you still going to keep that same energy for your teammate?
Yeah, we always stay kind of fired up.
Good.
Like on the bench, we be screaming, defense, defense. Like, everybody be screaming. And the coach, if we're not, then he be firing us up.
Okay.
And if you are kind of, like you said, having a bad game.
Because it's going to happen. You're not going to play great all the time.
And then you don't want to carry that emotion and give it to somebody else.
Yeah.
Especially if they're having a good game.
Yeah. No, that's smart. What I try to preach on my teams, right, and particularly, we say a quote that a lot of people probably know. It says, "Re, not me." Right? We really try to instill on my youth teams, you got to find joy in others. You know what I mean? You got to find joy in other success, right? And that's hard at times. Like, just being honest, even, and you'll learn this as you grow older. Just as a man, it's just hard sometimes because we want, so much for ourselves to be successful. Sometimes we can forget to appreciate others' success, and I think basketball is a good teaching tool to help instill that in a lot of young men and women, to find joy when the person next to you is doing great, even if you yourself, right, aren't doing the best. And that's what I'm just saying. There's one thing you'll learn in life, and, your dad will speak on this, I'm sure, too, good and bad's always going to happen, right? Good things, bad things, whatever. But it all comes and goes. Right, bad usually isn't bad forever, and good isn't usually good forever. Like that's just how life works. So that's what I try to teach my kids when I coach them. I say, look, okay, 2 bad games, you shot terrible. Like let's say one of my best shooters just can't make a shot. Mm-hmm. I'll give you an example. It even happened recent when we did the Adidas tournament. My 8th grade lost to Lake Show. We shot 0 for 15 from 3, 0 for 15 for an entire game. And these are some kids that I've seen knocked down plenty, and as a coach, trust me, it's not fun to watch. You're frustrated, you want to, it was nothing more I could say other than, fellas, that's a bad game. We have to learn from it. We got practice Monday. We got to get to work. And between now and then, get your shots up because we can't go, because this was the weekend before Made Hoops. So I was like, we can't go 0 for 15 in Made Hoops. And sure enough, my 8th grade went 4-0, and what I mean, like, so that's what I'm saying. Bad happens, right? But it doesn't happen forever. Just like good happens, but it doesn't happen forever either because we went 4-0. Next Made Hoop stop, we can go 0-3, right? Obviously, we don't want to. So I'm big on teaching that, and hopefully you're learning that lesson as well. I want to talk more about your team a little bit too. So, your coach, right? Are you enjoying, your coach, and I mean, I don't know him personally, but you know, obviously I'm assuming he's a solid coach, but having a good coach holding you accountable, you know, is that important to you?
I mean, yeah, it's really important because I played on another team before Paul George Lee. I won't say the team name.
Yeah, that's
coach, fine. But it was like I was isolated from the team. I didn't get as many minutes, as much attention either. And then we moved to a bunch of other teams, and then we came to Paul George Lee.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like the coach really matters a lot.
Okay.
Because sometimes you have all your best players on the bench, and then you don't put them in.
Right.
You know? Or you put them out there, and you don't know what to do with them.
Okay.
Because you've never had that level of talent on your team. And a lot of coaches also, they don't know what a kid can do.
Okay. Do you think when you're in the game, right, and your coaches, like what coach, like this is more or less my question I want to ask is like, what coaching style do you think you respond to? Do you like your coaches to, and I'm asking you a lot of this just so you understand, because and this is the old heads talking, like we talk a lot and a lot of media talks a lot from the older guys, right? How we, and fairly, and even I can agree unfairly sometimes, we talk about how you younger guys are so soft, right? We're like, man, they're so soft. They're mentally soft. They're physically soft, blah, 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 blah. Well, this is one of the unique times I get to talk to a kid, right, like yourself on this show and try to get your perspective, because that's important, you know? And I don't think it's, quote unquote, your guys' generation soft. I just think you guys got to be taught differently, right? You got to be talked to differently. So that's why I'm asking you some of the questions I'm asking you. You're kind of representing your generation's youth side fairly or unfairly, but that's kind of what you're representing right now. And so that's why I want you to speak on some of that. Like, you know, I've been fortunate enough to get good response out of the kids I coach, but I'm a tough coach. You know what I mean? Your dad could tell you, anyone who tells you, I am not an easy coach. And that's what works for me. And a lot of my players, I get the best out of them through that. Some kids react well with coaches who are, you know, I would say a little nicer, right? Easier, if you want to call it that, or maybe softer, more what we call cerebral coaches. They do a lot of, they challenge your mind a lot, right? They might not yell at you, but they give you like these looks, or they do like, you know, they just kind of like, I've seen coaches where they've kind of just clapped and get a response out of a kid. So, you know what I mean? Yeah. For you, what kind of coach do you think helps fit you the most?
So I've really only had one type of coach since I've played. Not, like you said, soft, like they're not yelling. They yell. Okay. You know, but they're not screaming and cussing. Yeah. Like, it's kind of in between the two.
Does it bother you, or it just kind of, you think it like they're just passionate? Do you think they're passionate and just motivating? Okay. And like, can you recall a game where maybe like, whether it's, you know, with Paul George Elite or any of your teams where a coach like got in you and it really motivated you to get out there and play well?
I think we had one game, what was it, Vegas Elite. The coach, he took me out the game. He pulled me over to the side. He was like, no, you got to go get the – I mean, he was like – because I didn't have a good game. Yeah. That was the first time I played Vegas Elite. And we were playing up.
Oh, okay.
So it was like I wasn't having a good game. We were losing. We weren't doing good. I was on a different team at the time. I wasn't on Paul George Elite. Yeah. And I was like, okay, the second I went back in, I got 10 points, 15 rebounds, 5 assists. I was going crazy, and then we ended up losing the game by like 4, I think.
Yeah, still sounds like it was a good game, though.
But everybody started to kind of get a feel for what to do. We were getting trapped. We didn't know how to deal with a trap. We ended up breaking the press. Everything just started going well, but we couldn't finish, you know?
Yeah, and that happens. But like you said, that coach took you to the side, kind of lit in you a little bit, and lit a fire under you, right? Mm-hmm. Good. And then, well, let's talk. Well, you, Dad, what kind of coaching style do you think gets the best out of your son?
We're trying to look. It's great that he's answering that way because he's spot on.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I feel like you have to be in a place with these kids where I'm explaining to him in this moment, if someone's yelling, if someone's screaming, if someone's cussing at the top of their lungs, whatever coach that might be,
Right.
whoever that is, just understand it's about that moment.
Yeah.
It's not about you.
Right.
And that's something around 8 years old I started explaining to him. Like, bro, look, because first couple of times he like, oh, man.
Yeah. No, it's a shock.
Young,
yeah.
he shut down.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, man, he feel like, no, man.
Like they're not, like the coach isn't trying to hurt you. He's trying to.
No, this is how people coach.
In
This is
the
how
heat of
people
battle.
express themselves. Now you get to LA where we at now, and you get to some of them coaches, and you can't even. They would be past rated R what they say to kids. I'm like, yo. So I'm like, hey man, that's how he talks to them.
Yeah.
Because that's where they come from, and that's what the energy is that they got.
Yeah.
So he's starting to now see, oh wow, okay, people do. But guess what? Motivate yourself.
Mm-hmm.
When you check in, man, is you ready to go? Are you turned up? Are you, because you're going to get a time where a coach don't have a voice.
Right.
I personally like coaches that are not afraid of a player.
Okay.
Because when you make a mistake, tell him he made a mistake.
And tell him how to fix it.
And tell him how to fix it,
Yep.
and then go back to war.
Yeah.
I don't want a passive coach with, yeah, it's okay, man. You just...
Right?
See how you
I'm
like,
not a fan of that either.
No, because, you know, when you get to the next level and you start playing for real colleges, ain't nobody taking it easy on
Nah.
you, man. People not going to play around.
That's their
This
livelihood.
is
It's their
livelihood.
job.
This is jobs. This becomes a whole thing. So now coaches dictate what you're doing, and you got to be able to be a business person. Go, okay, I should have got that rebound. I got it, coach. I'm going. Now you'll find out that the hardest coaches in the world, when you go all out, they don't yell as much.
Yeah.
Or if they yell
Yeah.
at you, it's because it's something you should have done that you know you should have did.
Yes.
Right?
Yep.
And that is what I think is amazing. Before Coach Thompson died,
Yeah.
magnificent coach, Georgetown, Coach Allen
Legendary
Iverson.
coach.
When I was coming out of high school, I got to play for him in the summertime. And we got to play 2 games with him. And I'm jumping, I'm dunking. And he like, come here. Pull me over to the side. This is Coach Thompson, bro. And
He ain't no little dude.
and I'm looking at him, and he like, motherfucker, I know you could jump, but can you play defense?
Right.
And I'm going like, yeah. And he's like, when they use all their athletic ability and get a fucking stop. That's him to me.
Yes.
And I'm like, damn. So I remember walking, the buzzer went off. I'm like, damn, this is crazy. I just got 2 dunks. I'm thinking to myself, like, and he was right.
Yeah.
He knew that I could be a better defender than I was because of how athletic I was.
Yeah.
So he was saying, he was challenging me.
Yeah.
Now, the first time he said to me, I was crushed. Like,
Right.
damn, he don't even like me. Like, no. Then
He just knew you could do better.
he just knew I could do better. Yeah. And I love that about sports because guess what? Black men, black kids out there in America, black women, man, we get into this next level of business. They ain't nobody taking it easy on you.
No.
They're not finna tell you at Tesla, hey, you know what? I really think you could do a better job. Man, your ass fired. Man, Kaiser not finna bring you in there and be like, can we just tell you one thing? Like, no, you fired. Like, get out of here,
That's
man.
not how it
If
works.
you're not performing, if you're not doing what you're supposed to do, get out of here. Nobody got time for that. Don't nobody got time for you to be babied, for you to be stroked. Yes, we get it. But when it's wartime, man, it's wartime. And it's not about, look, this whole game and this whole thing that we're talking about right now is, what do you do when everything goes wrong? Mm-hmm. That's what determines who you are in basketball and in life. What do you do when nothing's right?
Yep.
What do you do when you're down 15, you can't make a shot, and it's 6 minutes left on the clock?
Yeah.
You got 3 fouls. What Noah shows up?
Yeah.
Do you tuck your tail, put your head down, cry? Do you scrap, fight, try to get every rebound, try to get a steal, try to will your way back in the game?
Yeah.
That's the kids that people are looking for.
Yeah.
Not the kid that's up by 20 and
coasting and everything's easy.
Yeah, and now you shooting the 3 and you doing this and you're doing that. They're not looking for that.
Right.
We're trying to find dogs, man. And we want those dogs to be transferable to life.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So a part of this is like, no, Noah, no, Aiden, no, Milan. For my kids, I'm like, hey, look, this is what we're learning. We're going to learn how to actually roll with the punches, because it's not going to always be great. Sometimes it's going to be hard. Sometimes it's not going to be fair. Sometimes things are not going to work out for you. But what do? Do you cry? Do you die? No. You get stronger.
Yeah.
You say a prayer, you hold your head down for a minute, you pick your head up, and even if you make a mistake, guess what? Next play. And that's life. And I'm telling them that for life. Next play, bro.
Yeah.
A lot of these kids don't know next play.
Yeah.
Damn, I really messed up. Next play.
Yep.
Because if you watch someone like Kobe, you like, damn, he just missed 18 shots in a row.
He's still taking number 19.
You know why? Because he had a next play mentality.
Yep.
Now, some people gunning.
Yeah.
Kobe, to me, wasn't a gun like that.
No,
Kobe
no, no.
was just he was an elite scorer.
Yeah.
And he was so skilled to where he knew, I missed that. You didn't make me miss that shot.
Yep.
I tell him all the time, I was like, bro, I'll be playing still today. And I'll be like, the only thing gonna stop me is you better hope I miss. Because I still don't, there's nobody
Right.
that I feel like, oh, you can lock me up. I can't. No, you better hope I miss.
Right.
Because you're not gonna dictate anything to me. I'm gonna dictate what I want to do to you.
Yep.
So now for these kids, they're learning how to probe and pace, slow down. Who's open? How do you make correct pass? He'll tell you now, we could be in LA, and I'm like, bro, come on, we finna do this drill. What's that drill? We just gonna pass for an hour. What you mean? Chest pass.
Right.
Bounce pass.
The fundamentals.
One hand pass. Left hand pass. Left hand layup. You're gonna learn how to do these things because in a moment, guess what? Half the kids that we like, oh my God, look at him, he crazy. He can do this. They can't even make a pass.
No, you're right. Yeah.
They can't even make a correct chest pass.
Yeah.
If you understand the game and you understand Michael Jordan, you will now. No, I would love to debate for this, but I will tell you right now, there was never ever a more technically sound basketball player in the game than Michael Jordan.
Oh yeah. I agree.
A lot of people don't understand that conversation.
Yeah.
Michael Jordan, if you ever watch him, everything is technically perfect. Mm-hmm. Now, all the flair that he has, the tongue, the lean, all that's his swag.
That's the marketability,
but
the swag. 100%.
If you watch the game, hand in the passing lane, defense, 2 feet, shoulder width, hands out, right? When he shoots the ball, if you look at his form, I'm looking right here. Look at perfect form, arm up.
Footwork always
footwork,
great.
left, right. When he makes a chest pass, thumbs down, one hand pass, left him. Everything about him, because guess what? Coach Dean Smith, North Carolina, told him this is how you play basketball. Kenny Smith, the same thing. This is technically how you play the game. All that other stuff, bro, that's out the door. So for us, I'm like, you're going to learn the basics and the fundamentals, and you're going to be great at what you do.
Sounds like he is.
He up, man. He up. Noah, you up, baby. You up, man. But I roll the ball with him against anybody. I'm that dad.
That's all right.
I'm
good.
like, bro, because a lot of it also is confidence.
Yes. Yeah.
If you ain't got no confidence, you can't beat nobody.
Yeah, right.
We've seen Ben Simmons. Have you ever met Ben Simmons?
No, I haven't met him.
Ben Simmons.
But I've seen him, of
Ben
course.
Simmons taller than this wall.
Yeah.
Hands big as this thing right here. I'm looking at him.
He's
and
a
I'm
giant
like, yo, this
individual.
is crazy, bro. Like,
Point
I'm
guard.
like, yo, how would? But if the mind ain't there,
Doesn't matter.
it don't matter. Because guess what? You roll the ball up with him and Ja Morant,
Yeah.
Ja finna eat his lunch. Ja finna eat his lunch.
He's confident, man.
Because he's confident. And that's what the game is, and that's what the NBA getting ready to get back to. All this, oh my God, his body is phenomenal. Look how he can jump high. That's finna go out the door because they done paid too many of these guys that don't got no heart, don't got no confidence, and guess what? Really don't want to be there.
Yeah.
So,
well, that's why they talk about that's where the old heads talk about the softness or the mental softness.
Well, you don't like it.
Yeah,
so you done got paid Zion played 6 games this year.
I know, it's crazy. And he's
Zion
making a ridiculous amount of money.
$200, $300 million. He done played 6 games. Bro, I played 6 games yesterday.
I just feel bad for the fans. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like.
I feel bad for him.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, bro, you can't. That's not it.
Yeah.
Because that's that. Now you got paid. Now you cool. That's that. But that's who you are as a person. Man, I'm on the court, bro, for free.
Yeah.
So I'm that guy, man. It's been great to watch. Like even now, film awards, all the stuff I'm doing. He'll tell you, man, 11, 12 o'clock at night, bro. I'm in the back shooting.
Yeah.
Because it's my sanctuary. And now it's great because sometimes now my knee be hurting. I'm getting old. Now I go to the bathroom, look out the window. I'm like, yo, he's out there in the back shooting. Yo, this is crazy.
Exactly.
Crazy. No, but I want him to have that, man, because that's what's going to take you there.
Yeah.
Nothing else. Nothing else. If y'all listen to this podcast, man, trust me, your heart, your desire to compete is going to far outweigh your talent. You're going to run into talented guys that could do all kind of stuff. But when the fourth quarter comes and they tired, can you outrun them? Can you outjump them? Yeah. Can you push them down? Do you have the will to go get that? Yes, that's going to make you be a winner. So you look at guys like J.J. Redick in the league and what's my man Caruso? Right?
Yeah.
Bro, these aren't the most talented.
No, but they work hard.
They outwork everybody.
Smart, like all the above, 100%.
They outworked everybody, right?
Yeah.
They outworked everybody. Brunson outworked everybody.
Yeah.
Yep.
The work does the work does the work.
That's it.
Well, so for back to you, Noah. So what's your overall dream for basketball? Like, what is it? Because that's, like I said, that's me and Dad were joking and laughing, saying that's kind of the cool part of this episode. You can watch it, years later when you're in high school or something, be like, oh yeah, I did say that back then. But what's your overall dream that you would like to accomplish with basketball?
I mean, just get myself successful.
Okay.
Be able to have a good path ahead of me.
Okay.
Not necessarily the NBA, but like if I could get there,
you'll take it, huh?
Yeah.
Right. Hey,
but like as long as I could get successful and a good path to lead me, then I will, gladly take it.
Okay. So let's go step by step. So you want to be a varsity high school player, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. So let's talk about that goal real quick. Getting to that step, right, to be a high-level varsity high school player, let's ask you right now, how often are you working on your game?
Every day.
Every day? How many hours you think you spend working on your game?
1 to 2.
Okay. No, that's good. That's good. And then, and you're doing that pretty much like 6 days a week, 5 days a week?
Yep.
Okay. And then when you practice, how many days a week do you think you're practicing with your teams and whatnot?
Well, the team practices every day.
Okay.
Well, the coach has 2 teams.
Mm-hmm.
He has Dream Chasers and Paul George Elite.
Okay.
So
And you're
Dream
practicing
Chasers
what, like?
Practices every day,
Okay.
except for, I think, the weekend.
Okay.
And they go for 2 hours.
Okay.
So I'd usually go there.
All right.
And then if the team has practice, then I would go there.
Okay.
But
So
it's usually every day.
So you're training on your own and going to practice. Okay. That's good. Most kids your age aren't doing that, just to be honest with you, right? Even in my club, AAU, I get 2 days a week with my kids, and I don't even know if the kids are working on their own enough and stuff. So that's good you're doing that now. That is a good thing. And then, so though that I think will set you up for a lot of success when you get varsity high school. Have you been to Like, have you seen some varsity high school games? I'm sure, I know you've been to NBA games. You've all been to that, but have you been to like some college games or some high school games?
We went to one college game. We went to Notre Dame's game, right?
Okay.
But the only high school I've seen is like on TV. We haven't been there in person.
Okay. Well, you'll go.
Oh wait, you seen Ronnie play Sierra Canyon versus
that was
and Mercy Miller.
Mm-hmm.
Seen that?
When you went to those games, like the college and high school games, did you, what did you learn? Did you like see the atmosphere, hear the coaches? I mean, obviously the crowd's there, which is great, but like for you as a young hooper trying to make it, what was your takeaway from those games, and what did you learn?
Well, I learned a lot, like kind of what the atmosphere would be like, how the coaches would be. A lot of it was, it was two really good teams.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like it wasn't easy for one team to win. So it was like the whole game was competitive. So everybody was on their feet. Everybody was fired up. Everybody kind of had a motor the whole game.
Okay.
And it was really cool to see it because it was like you got to have that motor the whole game if you're playing a good or bad team,
Yeah.
Let me know what the coaches would be like. Both coaches were really passionate.
Mm-hmm.
It was a really fun experience to go to.
No, that's good. And and it gives you a good like visual of like, okay, that's what these kids look like just the height, the size, the speed, the athleticism, you know what I mean? Like you see it and you're like, oh, okay, this is the real deal. This is what I gotta work to be if that's your goal, right? So if you get the opportunity to play college, do you have any like colleges you like, or any kind of ones you're like, oh man, I wouldn't mind going there? Any of those type of thoughts? Well, you're so young, right?
Yeah.
You ain't got to worry about it for a long time. But if you have one, like when I was your age, I like Cal, but I grew up in the Bay, so everybody loved Cal. But maybe you might have one.
Just based off what I'm thinking right now, probably like a college in LA.
Okay.
Because I don't want to really go to Texas or something like that.
Okay. Yeah, I don't blame you. LA's got great colleges. You could go UCLA, USC. Cal State Fullerton. You got beautiful campuses, a lot to pick from.
San Diego State,
University of San Diego. Like, trust me.
San Diego State, where your dad went. It's not bad.
All right.
Went to the championship.
No pressure or anything. No pressure or anything.
Go to the Aztecs.
No, man, and and being in that LA culture, because you kind of got a unique take, because obviously you guys are back and forth between here in Sacramento and LA, and I'm sure you see it from your perspective, the different, just the difference between NorCal and SoCal. People outside of California don't really, and I know this, and I know you know this, because like I went to college in the Midwest, right? So I went to college in Chicago, and their perception of California, they don't know how big our state is. Like, they really think it's like Oakland, LA, San Diego. They think everything's like right next to each other. You get the unique perspective of kind of playing on both sides of the coast, and playing for high level teams on it. What have you learned in terms of, do you think like the NorCal style of hoop is very different than LA? And I know in LA there's a bunch of AU programs and a bunch of teams. Is there what have you learned from both sides from playing on both sides?
I would say Northern California is tougher. I feel like they would want you to be more kind of mentally prepared for if you play like a team like, let's say, Vegas Elite or Arsenal, the atmosphere be crazy. They be screaming, yelling.
Yeah, Arsenal's definitely a crazy program to play against.
They prepare you for that more. I feel like LA's a little less of that.
Okay.
But there's still a lot of coaches and teams that will do that. Like Paul George Elite. Lakeshow's the Bay. I played on Lakeshow, but Lakeshow as well.
Yeah. They're a good program. The overall pretty tough program too.
But I do feel like Northern California is a lot more like fundamentals. You need to know how to do that. Like they prepare you for what's gonna happen if you keep playing basketball and you get to the next level. You know?
Yeah. You feel like the coaches out here and the style out here is helping you get ready for that next level?
Yep.
Good. Well, good. So that's good for NorCal.
No, I think I'll tell you, man. Just me being a Midwest kid and then coming here is interesting because I do think that Sacramento and Oakland, has been a hub for talent.
Yeah.
Now, what I think, and I think it's completely different than L.A. You know, I know a lot of L.A. guards. I know a lot of people from L.A.
Yeah.
There's a mentality here like the Midwest that you get. Like I'm telling him and, you know, educating him on basketball a little bit. You a Midwest Chicago player, we normally play hard, jump high, and get to the basket.
Yeah.
Because when you play outside, it's cold.
Yeah.
My whole life growing up, we playing in the snow. Jump shots ain't a thing we do.
Right.
Right? And that's a big deal. Seattle, we get to Seattle. They're normally shifty guards.
Mm-hmm.
That's their style. L.A. normally has great jump shooters because the sun is out all the time.
And they out there.
And they have more of a lazy mentality in terms of the game. So they pulling up, shooting three. I never seen people shoot till I came here. I'm like, he can shoot the ball hella good. Used to be where you'd be like, white boys can shoot.
Right.
We like, them white boys, you know they gonna shoot. Now, when you get here, what I'm starting to learn is, and Marcus Price, who's coaching him, is phenomenal with his program because they got a chip on their shoulder.
Yeah, they do.
They got a chip on their shoulder, man. Like, and he's instilling that chip. Now, what's been missing here for a long time when you think about all the athletes, I played with Hook Mitchell. I played with a bunch of these guys out of the Bay a bunch of times. I played against Jason, a kid in high school.
Yeah.
What they had that a lot of people don't have is information.
Mm-hmm.
See, that's the difference between a pro and somebody years later like, damn, man, I wonder, like, damn, I should have made it. No, you shouldn't have made it because you didn't have the information.
Right.
Left hand, right hand, floater, downhill, rebound, defense. Do you know how to do those things? Has someone educated you on how to play the game, even though you're that talented?
Yeah.
No. So that's what's changing now. We've always had talented people here. It's always been the Bay and Sacramento. Bro, I could name 100 people from out here. I'm like, yo, remember him? Mm-hmm. But we never got a chance to be educated on how to play the game. Or the people that actually ran the programs out here, they did not let the young kids like us that was thugging, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
From the hood,
right.
Didn't have nothing. We riding up there to the gym with scrapers. We like, man, can we get in here, hoop? They not letting us in there.
Nah.
So we had to make it on our own.
Yeah. A lot of street ball.
So even years later, man, I'm going like, damn, when I worked out with Denver, I'm like, why didn't I make the team? I didn't make the team, bro, because I wasn't prepared. I didn't have anyone tell me, no, Deon, you got to be able to go left every time. You got to be able to throw a floater over a center. You can't dunk on everybody.
Right.
So a little bit of that is like, okay, now education and learning is what you have to do. My son now, we talk about Paul George Elite and Dream Chasers and what Marcus is building, what he's doing, and Coach TJ. Bro, it's phenomenal to see these kids 70-0. It's phenomenal to see them go all over the world, shoot Skechers commercials and do the stuff they're doing, getting ready to go to China. Why? Because someone is giving them the information to be great.
Yes.
And guess what, Chris? They're willing to take the information. He's willing to be in the backyard with me.
Yeah.
Going, nah, bro, go through the cone like this.
Yeah.
Pull back. And he like, why am I doing that? Then I can show him 1 hour later on the NBA game, bro, come here, look.
Like this
Ain't that what you just did?
It transfers. Yep.
Ain't that what you just did? He like, damn, yeah. Because I'm telling you, this is it's transferable.
Yes.
Now, if you in the back just shooting, I got it, man. No, you don't got it because you don't know what's going to happen when somebody double you.
Yep.
You don't know how to get your elbows up and elbows. You don't know what it means to elbow somebody in their throat.
Yeah.
Make them get up off you.
Get them off you.
You know what I mean? It's physicality to this, man. Sometimes you got to be more dog than you know.
Yep.
How did he do that? No, because he's in the back working on it over and over and over again. A lot of these kids come to these AAU games, they be like, man, look at him, man. He's so nice. He got, man, look what he got. Bro, what you don't know is that kid, while you playing Nintendo or PlayStation, he in the back 4 hours working on that, and then he does his magic trick.
Right.
The magic trick is this is the stage. Now everyone believes, no, he's just got that. No, he worked on that package.
No.
Right?
Yeah.
We went and seen LeBron the other night, 40 years old against the Kings.
Yeah.
Killed them. I mean, but if you watch, I'm telling him, watch what he's doing. Don't just watch the game. Watch.
Yeah.
He get the ball in the post. He throwing his head 2-3 times. That's him been working on that.
Yeah.
He waiting for you to make one subtle look so he go that way.
Right.
Now they got older, this little things I be doing. So I be like, yo, why wish I do that without doing? Sometimes, bro, I come down because I can't get off like I can because I'm older. But sometimes I be in a 24 and I see a kid coming, I be like, yeah, set that screen. Ain't nobody there.
Right.
And he looked that way.
And right by him, shot. Yep.
It's gone. He like,
now we're thinking the game out.
You're thinking it out. And that's what I'm telling you, bro, slow down. The game is not even fast. Luka doesn't run fast at all.
No.
Embiid does not move fast at all.
No. Joker.
DeMar DeRozan is not moving fast at all. They're moving at the pace in which they want to move. Yep. That's why when you see somebody like De'Aaron Fox run that fast, you're like, damn, that's great. He held that. He fast this way.
Yep.
He crafty. But most of these guys know, man, they going to go at their pace.
Yep.
And if you begin to learn, you'll see that most of the point guards, Kyle Lowry been in the league 20 years.
Yeah.
Never dunked on nobody. Never threw it down. Just on the ground, moving at his own pace. Mm-hmm. Chris Paul, 40, still playing. Never dunked it. Never, just a pace. He just know where the ball need to be, know where he need to be, and that's the game.
Yep.
They made $500 million being in shape.
Yep.
And that's what I'm saying, bro, just let them do all that.
Right.
We finna drive right on past all that. Damn, that was really nice what you did. I'm like, bro, just, you know what you're gonna do? Rebound him.
Yep.
Right? You'll be better on your possessions.
Yep.
And that's what I really love about what he's doing and what the team represents. It's like, no, bro, are you consistent? How many shots you took? Oh, you took 12. How many did you make? Oh, you made 8? Perfect. You're a plus. How many rebounds you get? Oh, I got 15 rebounds. I got 12 rebounds. Oh, how many people did you stop? That's what we're looking at because when you get to the next level, that's what they look at.
That's what matters.
And guess what? That's what matters for me in film as well. What did I do when I woke up this morning? What script did I work on? Am I going to push it from beginning to end? Yes. Am I going to get a movie made? Yes, I am. I'm working on the Floyd Mayweather documentary. Yeah. How am I cutting it? What am I doing? No one's looking over your shoulder going, let me see that Floyd cut.
Right.
It's like, you have to be responsible for it. So I really like this platform, man, because you get to educate people.
That's all I'm trying to do.
You did a great job, man. You did good, man. But I really like what you just talked about with Northern Cal in L.A. He's right, because he's experiencing both.
Yeah, he is experiencing both cultures.
And he's starting to see, like how the practice is with, like, Corey and Chris Johnson, like LeBron's trainer. He's over there with them. And then he's also getting the experience how the kids are.
Yeah.
And then when he comes here, it's like, no, it's more competitive. You know why? I'm telling him also, bro, they headhunting you.
Yeah.
Right? Like, it used to be a long time ago. He'd like show up, be like, oh, I'm Noah Taylor. How you guys doing?
Right.
And they're like, oh, he's such a nice kid. Now they like, oh, that's the dude.
Hey, right. They like, hey, man, that's the dude that killed us last time. Now
they headhunting him. Now I'm telling him, bro, you a ticket.
Yeah.
Because when you step out there, if they could cook you, and they see you doing all this stuff. They see y'all team. Yeah. Marcus got the team. And Marcus, like I said, I'm bringing it back up, man. He's doing such a great job. And so are you, man, like with y'all programs. Because you guys are educating people on how to play basketball.
Yes.
And if you don't want to be educated on how to play it, leave, bro. Like, go shoot. Go jack up 30 shots with that other team.
I tell people that all the time.
These kids, man, now he watches, he's like, damn, that's crazy, Dad, you was right. Like, yeah. I said, that kid, ain't no way in the world that kid gonna be able to play against you.
Yeah.
In 1 year.
Yeah.
because they don't know nothing. They're not
Right.
learning nothing. They just learn how to run down the court and shoot the ball. Like, no, man, educate these kids. If y'all out there coaching, if you a parent, first of all, get your ass off the coaching staff and get to the other side. Your job is to coach them at home.
Yep.
Coach them at home, teach them at home, and then let them be in the game. That's for real. Now, here's the other thing. You can't expect them to be able to shoot the three, drive the lane, do the crossover thing that you want them to do if you ain't worked with them on that at home.
Exactly.
Now, all of a sudden on Saturday on game day, you like, do that crossover.
Right.
And you ain't even worked with them on the crossover.
Or it's the coach's fault.
Man,
And we only get them for like an
I
hour.
done seen that a bunch of times. I'm looking at the parent like, bro, did you work on that with him? Because he not finna just miraculously do it. You know, you should have cut right there when you're supposed to be there. And I'm going like, no, that ain't the right cut he's supposed to make. Kids sitting over there like, I don't know what to do. So a lot of it's like, man, if you're not going to spend that time with your kids, then just enjoy them playing the game. If you're serious about it, spend time with them outside of what the coaches are doing. At 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, you the coach. You educate your kids on what to do, and then you deliver your product to the coach. Now, if the coach doesn't know what to do with that product, now you can make a decision on what you want to do. Mm-hmm. And that's what he was speaking about earlier. I'm looking at it, I'm going, bro, you athletic, you fast, you jump high as hell, you taller than everybody else. Ain't no way in the world you sit on no bench at 8, at 9. There's no way. And I'm like, we going to go over here. And soon as we make that move like that, now what happens? Now all these kids ranked in the country, 11 years old. If I would have left him in the situation he was in, it would not have been right.
Right.
But that's our job, is to navigate our kids or navigate our teams and be like, no, we're going to make this move. Mm-hmm. And then we pour into them, man, so they can be great. Because at the end of the day, it's not about an NBA. It's about being successful.
Yeah.
The basketball game allowed me to have $100+ million company that I run and I own. This game gave me that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's just fuel and drive to do the things great. Some of the stuff Noah's learning how to do right now, I never knew until I got older. So I'm just fascinated to see what's going to happen to him in the next year. And I'm like, damn, bro, now you starting to do this. I'm like, yo, this is wild. And you're right. This last tournament was the first tournament. People were like, yo, your son? I'm like, yeah. They're like, man, because he playing with a motor. Yeah. And that's something that a lot of kids don't have either.
No, they don't.
So I would tell you this, if your son or your daughter's out there, you will understand this when I say it. If your son has a motor, you will know it. You will know what a motor is if your son, if they have it and they're not as skilled, please help that kid, because a lot of these kids don't have a motor. They don't have that thing that makes them not stop. Some kids are uber talented, but they don't have a motor.
Right.
A motor, you can't buy. A motor is, there's been a few times with him, I'm like, hey, bro, breathe. Like, bro, you finna pass out. I'm like, I never had that. Well, I'm like, you finna pass out,
you gotta
bro.
tell him, stop working out.
I'm waving to the coach like, yo, take him out. Take him out, bro. He like, you know a dog run to their heart bust.
Yeah.
I'm looking at him like, this boy heart finna, I'm like, bro, you finna pass out.
But like you said, that's just him.
No, you can't teach that. And I hope he never loses that. It's what makes Draymond so exceptional.
Yeah. No,
you know
that's
what I mean?
It's like, that's what they say. That's that Saginaw in him. That's just that grit and that, that I'm never gonna stop mentality.
Oh man, it's crazy.
I want to talk a little bit about NBA stuff, right? Mm-hmm. So, like I said, it's the kind of the fun part of the show. Then I got a few more questions, and you'll be out of here, right? So we got hot takes. Obviously, the first big point of news that a lot of people are talking about, obviously in Sacramento, is Mike Brown being fired. My personal opinion, I think I expressed it on my social media, don't think that was necessarily the best idea. I think it was kind of a knee-jerk reaction, but you can't knock it, I guess, for right now, because they did go 2-0 since he's been gone, and Doug Christie's been doing a great job as far as in this small sample size of him coaching and whatnot, and shout out to Doug Christie, because he is a Sacramento guy. He was with that team with C-Webb and those guys back in the day, so him doing his thing, but. Obviously, again, I think, I've been trying to research the details on why they got rid of Mike Brown. don't 100% know. Some rumors say it's because he suggested having DeRozan come off the bench. Some are saying there was a strenuous relationship between him and De'Aaron Fox. Who knows? Obviously, that's internal. Maybe some stuff will come out later on. But, you know, the Kings in 2025 are undefeated, so I guess you could take that as a positive. But, no, what's your favorite team and what's your favorite NBA team?
Favorite NBA team, probably that's tough. I want to say, because the only team that, like, I consistently watch are the Golden State Warriors.
Okay, nice. See, I'm a Warriors fan, so I grew up in Oakland, so I'm a big-time Warriors fan. But that's good.
But, like, it's either because I only consistently watch a few teams, like the Golden State Warriors or the Sacramento Kings or the Lakers, because, you know, I'm from those areas.
Yeah.
So it's not like I'm watching the Bucks every night. You know?
Right. No, it makes sense. And that, trust me, that's normal. We all go watch our hometown team. Who's your top five NBA players? It doesn't matter position or order. I don't worry about all that. But just tell me who's the top 5 NBA guys you like.
Number 1, I like Derrick Rose.
Okay, nice. It's a good choice.
Number 2, I got Kobe Bryant.
Okay.
Number 3, recently I've liked Anthony Edwards a lot.
Okay, good. Ant-Man.
I really like Jaren Jackson Jr. I went to one of his runs with Corey.
Nice.
Watched him play. Really cool to see him play. He was really good. Number 5, I have to go with Michael Jordan.
Okay, cool. He didn't say LeBron. I'm surprised. No LeBron in that list. I ain't mad at that. And then for you, Deon, who's your top 5? Who do you got as your top 5?
Well, you know, we Bulls fans.
Yeah. MJ, there. Gotta have MJ in there.
No, I'm a diehard Bull fan, man. Like, anything Chicago, man, I'm locked in. Unfortunately, man, the teams have not been great. And he's right. It's funny because I be arguing with my brother Ephraim all the time. He's a diehard Laker fan. He's like, he Laker nuts. And I'm telling him, like, man, his kids like the Lakers, but it's easy because they're out here.
Yes.
So that's what you get. You
Right.
know, for Noah to watch the Bulls, he got to watch TV at 4 o'clock.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? NBA TV, you know what I mean? So it's like, that's very natural. I'm happy to hear him say that because we often are watching a lot of Warrior games and a lot of Laker games and a lot of Kings because
that's where he's at.
Out here, you know. But yeah, top 5 for me, Michael Jeffrey Jordan, 1. Talking about, bro. Like,
right.
That's number 1. It's interesting because I really like this is not our top 5, it's 5 players, right?
Yeah, well, like your personal top 5,
Shaq.
like, of all time.
I'm gonna go with Shaq.
If you had a top 5.
I'm going with Shaq because when I've never seen nothing like that in my life.
Physical dominance.
I've never seen nothing like that in my life. Like, the first time I see Shaq, I was like, yo, what is that? Like, Shaq, 3, obviously, Kobe. I was not a Kobe fan at first.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't
either.
I was a Kobe fan later. I was like, yo, this dude. Like,
I wasn't a fan of him when he was Froby, when he was number 8. I later became a fan of him as 24.
Fan of him, bro. I really like Kobe, D Rose, absolutely.
Yeah.
I would put him in there, and then I would absolutely say I'm gonna go with I like LeBron a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's phenomenal.
Yes.
But for me right now, I'm gonna have to go with Scotty.
Scotty, number 5. Yeah.
Pippen was crazy.
Yeah.
Iverson was crazy. Mm-hmm. Like, you know, it's hard to say 5. But,
right.
You know, Michael and Scotty. For me growing up,
yeah. None better.
What?
Best dynamic duo ever.
What?
That's why it's so crazy, you know, obviously as later in life, all the crazy stuff between those two. But it's like, you think back when they were on that court together, it's just, best dynamic. Man, one of the best, well, in my opinion, still the best dynamic duo outside of Gary Payton and Sean Kemp. I really like those two when they were together. And
I don't think there's anything better than Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen.
yeah,
that was.
No, they're not better, but I'm saying, yeah.
I mean, and then I think the Warriors overall, one of the most phenomenal teams I've ever seen.
Yes,
like that Klay Thompson and Draymond and Steph. Steph is an anomaly. I mean, anytime you got players that change the game.
Oh yeah.
So right now, he doesn't know this, but they have a problem in the NBA. The problem is everybody shooting threes.
Yeah.
The who issued the problem is
it's
Steph Curry.
Yeah, he's the source. Like
exactly
he
right.
is
He's
literally
the source of why the NBA is.
He's literally patient zero. Like
right. So Michael Jordan, when he came and he played, everybody wanted to be a scoring
an athlete scoring,
guard.
athletic.
So now you're not passing nobody. You're trying to you scooping it under the bed. He changed the game.
Yeah, and
right?
when Iverson too. When as far as the killer crossover,
everybody wanted to be him.
Yeah.
So these guys are once in a lifetime generational players that change the fabric of the game.
Yeah.
Shaq, you had to change all the rules.
Yep.
You can't. There's no way to guard him.
Yeah.
So now you 3 seconds in the key. You got
right.
All that stuff's changed in the backboard, the rim. So yeah, I like those generational guys, but I do think the NBA's in trouble.
Yeah, and that's what I was going to speak on a little bit too. Just getting your quick thoughts on that. Like right now, they're saying the NBA, it's dropping in ratings. People just aren't watching the product like they used to, and I've saw a lot of recent videos. I don't know if you've seen them on, just on your social media feed and stuff. Is referees are calling a lot of techs that I think just, they're just natural basketball reactions. There's a video of like Carl Anthony Towns and this one player from Orlando just clapping at each other, and they gave them both techs for that. I mean, it's just. It really has breeded a softer brand of basketball, in my opinion. And on top of, you throw into there everyone shooting threes, on top of star players are doing load management, on top of, it's just like, it's a snowball effect.
Yeah.
And it's strange because as much money as these players get now in comparison to back then, and all the technological advances, the sports medicine, the sports science, everything we have, it seems our players are the league's less entertaining. The players are less gritty. You definitely see in comment section all the time. They're like, NBA players are too buddy-buddy. They don't care if they lose because it's all about just shaking hands and everybody being cool. And I understand to a degree why it's like that, because a lot of these guys play against each other in AAU for years.
Yeah.
So they see each other all the time for years and years. I get that. I think a combination of that is starting to turn off a lot of the fan base. So I'm just curious, you watching it or watching any of it, if you have a perspective on that.
Yeah, I mean, I think the NBA is a business, and what you can't lose is the product.
Yeah.
So what the NBA is fighting against, which they have to fix, is what America is fighting against all the time. Black and brown people, man, we're the core of the culture. Mm-hmm. Everything that we do, we dictate how the world moves. Period. We're the only people on earth that can flip a Nike swoosh and take a global brand to another level because we touched it.
Yeah.
We're the only people that could beat on a lunch table, create something that the world sings.
Yep.
We are those people. We are it. So now when you start talking about the NBA, that's our game. Now we don't own no teams. That's something we got to deal with ourselves. We're not in the ownership level at all. We got to fix that. But when you talk about dreads flying, ball heads dunking, tongues wagging, shoes on the court, band shoes, low black socks, that's us, bro.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, when you the NBA and you're trying to say, "Oh no, we're not that. We're a foreign league now." No, bro, then you're gonna lose the essence of what. Remember, every country watches us.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if you ask Luka in high school, who do you like? He would have said LeBron.
Yeah.
He would have said Iverson.
Yeah.
If you ask Giannis when he was in Greece, when he was 15 years old, who does he like? He would have named a cultural black basketball player in the hood.
Yep.
So now what you're doing is you're taking that away and you're putting in these other guys that don't have the dog in them, don't have the energy in them, right? Then you're alienating a Ja Morant because he makes one mistake, but he's your ratings.
Yeah.
You're alienating the Draymond. He's your ratings. This is an expression from us. When you dunk on someone, you cannot control how you feel. It's why the NBA is the NBA. It's when Scottie Pippen dunked on Ewing and stepped over him that we go, oh.
People want that raw emotion.
It's when Michael Jordan dunked on Mutombo and did the thing. Bro, this is what the league is. So now you cannot mute us and you cannot change it. And the minute that you try to go away from what the core cultural values of the game is, it's going to fail.
Yeah.
The minute that you go find 25 of the same body types that do the same in and out dribble, that shoot the same three, then you've lost the uniqueness of the NBA. Mm-hmm. Charles Barkley, 6'5", 270,
Power
rumbling down the court, dunking it. Larry Johnson, gold tooth, dunking the ball, grandmama screaming.
Yep.
Right? Allen Iverson, 6 feet, soaking wet, 150 pounds, crossing. That's the game.
Yeah.
That's the game. And they've forgotten that. Now you got all these guys in the G League that really could play, that can't get a shot in the league because they're not 6'6" and 200 pounds.
Yeah. Because they're not the Wemby.
No, bro.
Prototype
and now
body
you think
now.
about this. I just told him, is Wemby an anomaly? Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
But if Wemby was from Chicago, Wemby would be the MVP of the NBA right now because he would be what Kevin Garnett was. Yeah. The fact that you 7'7" and you not dunking on everybody every night.
No, right.
The fact that you
shoot threes.
You shooting half court jump shots. Who wants to see that, bro? We coming there to see now the girls' game is more exciting than the men.
Yeah,
because guess what? They've tapped into the culture that I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Juju is phenomenal. Caitlin Clark pulling threes on your head. Right? Like, now we're into a world where Angel Reese, she backing you down, she's screaming, she look good, she bodying.
Asia Thompson, all of them.
Right, now they're doing what the NBA was doing.
Yeah.
So, they got to fix it, man, and they got to fix it fast. But that's why I'm making no. Like, when he get to the league, because he going to get there. But we not doing none of that. We bamming on people. We dunking.
Right.
We screaming. We going to be as culturally right as we supposed to be.
Yeah.
Because that's where the game is at, man. The reason they like Ant-Man, because what? Because he hood.
Yeah.
They could dust him off all you want. He from Atlanta.
He hood and country.
He going to dunk on you. He going to scream. He going to get to the bucket. He going to let you know what I'm about. That's what the league is. Giannis became culturally right. Giannis is now dunking and flexing and right.
He's one of the few ones that he ain't trying to be your friend.
That comes from us. But for everybody out there, man, just know we are it. We dictate music, film, television, fashion, style. We are it. We are the kings and the queens. It's why we are being pulled back. It's why what other race of people on planet Earth would everyone want to stop?
Yeah.
No. You can't name another race of people. Oh, we got to stop them. Like, no, bro, it's us. We've been oppressed for 1,000 years. We've been redlining. You can't live a certain place. Can't buy property. Can't work together. Let's separate them. We're the only people. Why? Because we are powerful people, man.
Certainly.
We're the only people that could beat on a jail cell, bro, and get out and do it in front of 100,000 people.
Yeah.
So we got to get ourselves right. We got to understand what's been going on with us. But the NBA is fantastic, bro. The NBA is fantastic.
Right.
But they got to let the NBA have its identity, and it has to be always the cultural thing of what we're doing here. It's what's wrong with the Kings.
Yeah.
It's what's wrong with what the Kings are doing wrong. You go to the game, they're trying to appease everybody versus understanding, bro, when they going up and down the court, play Kendrick Lamar.
Yeah.
It's what it is.
Like that's
it doesn't matter what market you is. That's what play Kendrick. Where's the DJ at?
Right.
Where's the essence of energy and urban with the Kings?
Yeah.
Where's that at? It's missing from the entire arena. It's missing. When you go to the Lakers game, bro, the lights go down, Kendrick playing, the Lakers is dunking, popcorn is flying, people screaming, rappers is on the front of the thing. We have nothing like that here in Sacramento. It's why the market is dying here, and it's why the team doesn't know what it's doing, doesn't have an identity.
Right.
Bobby Jackson should have been the coach.
Yeah. I remember you said that before, too.
Bobby should have been the coach.
Yeah.
Mark Jackson should have been the coach. Even now, Doug Christie, hopefully if he gets the job, Doug should bring Bobby.
Yeah.
Like that's culturally what Sacramento needs.
Right.
So, anyways, I'm gonna get off my soapbox.
No, man. No, you're saying a lot of good points and a lot of things that need to be said. I mean, and that's why I wanted to do a quick video reaction because I did want to talk to you kind of about that, you know, as a father and a son perspective on this. Hey, Joe, can you pull up that video on the TV? Yep. I put on the Bluetooth. So, can you make it big? Full screen? Yep. So, this was a compilation of videos. No, you might appreciate this and laugh at this. It's a bunch of kids like around your age or younger. But this is what I do say is kind of the side of AAU we need to work on. It's a video of basically kids doing too much, acting out too much. This is one of the problems I say that persists with AAU, and kind of unfortunately it's a direct correlation to not only having the problem with AAU basketball, but why like kids end up with bad body language. There's a video with that one kid that his homie was scoring and he was in the corner all like upset and stuff. You guys check out a few minutes of it and see what you think.
This is a passionate game, but also a game where you see guys getting off. I understand. I understand the passion that the game is played with at the highest level, especially in some of the environments that we've been in.
No doubt.
I've been in some very
hostile games.
Yeah,
no doubt.
I mean, I'm trying to educate him. I'm like, man, I remember playing in games in Chicago and Gary. Everybody is finna be a fight.
Yeah.
Every time. You know what I mean? But what is wrong with some of this stuff with the kids now is, you could come from Oakland, L.A., Sac, wherever, Oak Park, the Del Paso Heights. You could have that in you, and we encourage that.
Yeah, use it as motivation, right? Yeah.
But what we're not doing is too low and throwing your fingers at people. Bro, that's when the coach has to be like, come here, because you're not going. That's the part I'm talking about. You're not going to play in no one's league with that energy.
Well, because to me, if, for instance, your son, if he's allowed to do this at 11 years old, he's just going to be doing it when he's 16, 17, and now when a college might even be ready to recruit him and they see him acting like that, it don't matter how many points he's scoring, it don't matter how many rebounds he got, it don't even matter if he's a good student. They're not going to, more than likely, most of those, especially if we're talking like big schools, like a Duke, a Kentucky, or whatever, they like that. That's not coming to my school.
No, bro, that's gonna transfer to your life.
Yeah.
Forget school. You finna be doing that at Ralph's.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you finna be getting the police car coming. Like school, we talking about life now. If you go up to your junior high and you do that, they coming to put you in jail.
Yeah. Yeah.
If the teacher say something to you and you jump up like, hey, bro, I told you,
right.
Bro, you out.
Right.
You jump up in another student's face because you having an altercation and you don't know how to actually speak and actually have a conversation and get that out, and you starting to push people. Bro, you gone.
Yeah.
You work up here at FedEx and Joe, the manager, says, Deon, check out. I told you I wasn't to the. Bro, you gone.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm telling you. For the learning blocks of now, for Noah and the rest of these kids, bro, it happens now. It happens right now. Play with the dog mentality, but you playing with an edge so you can kill. You're not playing with an edge so you could do a Sports Center, look at what I just did. No, man. Yeah. That's too much. Come sit your ass down on the bench until you figure out what you need to do. Because there's certain kids that's not, when you start getting, some of these kids, you're doing this against that kid, certain areas, I'm just going to say it. It don't matter where you come from. You going to run against the wrong kid, and it's not going to be that reaction.
Yeah, it's not going to end well for you.
No, it's not. I'm telling you that. It's not going to be that reaction.
Who do you think is to blame more in these instances?
Parents
the coach
and
or the
coaches.
parents? Both
and
equally?
Coaches. Now, I'll tell you, I'm a parent. I'll be going crazy, too.
Yeah.
Like, I done got into all kind of
It happens.
stuff.
I'm not going to act like it doesn't.
But
It's
I'm
an emotional
saying,
game.
But my argument is normally I never, ever talk to the kids.
Yeah.
I talk to mine, but I never be like, hey, man, you trying to. I'm not
talk to
doing
another
that.
person's kids.
I'm not doing that at all, bro. I'm talking to my son, or I'm talking to the referee. And a lot of times I'm talking to the referee because I'm like, hey, if you don't control the game, it's going to get out of hand.
Yeah.
That's what I see a lot. You can't let 10, 11-year-old kids play through.
No.
Because what starts to happen is now they hacking.
And they don't have the restraint.
That's exactly
like
right. So
adults should have.
Now they get emotionally mad, and they emotionally invested in something, then it's going to be a fight.
Yeah.
And that's just what's going to happen. So I had that. I still like kids that are doing that. I had that. You know, I was a project kid, bro.
Yeah.
Like I lived in a project. I came out I had a chip.
Yeah.
Shoes on the ground, holes in my shoes, not really got the cool stuff. I could hoop. But if you test me, I'm a test you.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. Some kids, you get to these certain areas, bro, you're going to get fired on. It ain't going to be push the ball, push it back, push the ball.
They
bro,
just
you just going to get
take
fired on.
Yeah.
That's what I know. I know pop. I know, oh, you did a pow. That's all I know. And now that's going to be what it is. And so you want to teach kids, no, you don't need to fight. You don't need to raise your hand. This game is played with restraints. This game is played this type of way.
And respect, you know what I mean?
Respect.
Like, have respect.
And the biggest programs in the world, it's funny, like Big U in L.A. has this program with Snoop with all these kids playing football. When you see the kids, you're like, yo, okay, you know where they come from. You know what the energy. But the fact that they're educating them on how to play the game, how to be presentable, how to put their clothes on, how to speak, how to run through a wall, but then when you get over here, how to do. That's what I'm doing mine now. 11 years old, sitting on the podcast. 11 years old, doing a commercial. I'm like, bro, let me show you what the world looks like.
Yeah.
Now, you can have that, but now you need to be educated on how this stuff works. So this right here, you need to clean it up. You got to get the right referees. That's number one. Number two, like I said before, parents got to calm their emotions, man. These is kids playing basketball. We get intense because they ours. We going crazy. And sometimes I understand. But when we see kids doing that, that's a community's job to be like, bro, go sit down, man.
Like, we don't do that.
Yeah,
that's just not what we represent.
That's not what we are, man. Like, we not. You scored on him every time. Now you slapping him in the head. You doing the too low thing every time, bro. You not in the league.
Yeah.
You trying to get to the league.
Yeah.
So you're right. Ain't nobody gonna hire you. Ain't nobody gonna give you no scholarship. Ain't nobody gonna deal with you. And I love when kids do that, and then the other kid work them.
Yeah. Because
it's like, no, bro. Let me show you how this work really is. Let me show.
Just let your game do the talking.
Let me do this to you real quick.
And I even expressed it because I did a quick segment on this. Like I said, you know, trash talk's a part of the game. It's a game within a game. Like, I'm fine with the kids trash talking a little bit because they do got to learn a little bit of that. And that helps with the mental toughness. But again, I just think there's a line that we as adults know when it's crossed.
That's all crossing the line.
And that's where I'm like.
You seen the other kid, he just started getting busy on it.
Yeah. He's just like.
He's like, okay, let me show you something. Because now that's the next level.
Yeah.
When you start doing all that, nothing worse than somebody just get busy on it. When you're like, I'm going to do this.
And then now they go out there and work you.
Then they got 30. God, dog.
For when you see that, right? Like, you look at that video, and like I said, that's your generation. Some of those kids were your age, right? And you see that, you know, obviously looking at a YouTube video, it's kind of funny. There's no doubt about that. Looking at these kids act this way, and it's like, okay, that's hilarious, right? But, you know, do you think that's appropriate, or do you think that's right, or do you know, like, when you see that, what's your reaction?
I think it's okay to, you know, like you said, get a little bit into that trash talk, a little bit into that, especially if it's like a heated game, right?
Yeah, and that's a part of the game. We're not taking that away.
But sometimes it's too much, right? Especially if you're beating the team bad, and then you start doing all the flexing and
Well, like the 3-point,
Yeah,
arrow
pulling the
and all
arrow.
that. Have you seen teams like? Do you think it's appropriate? Like, let's say because you got a really good team, you blowing a team out by 30. Do you think it's okay if your team is out there trying like taunting or doing any of that? Do you think that's
No.
okay? Yeah, of course not. And I mean that's pretty common sense. But like I said, you kind of represent the youth side for me right now. Because I'm sure in your life you've been on the other side of that, right? Where you're down 30, 40 points. It don't feel good, right?
Yeah.
The last thing, and you see, the other team trying to make fun of you or something like that. It makes you mad, right?
Yeah.
And that that feeling could escalate into something further, So that's why I'm kind of curious for you as a kid when you see that type of stuff. What do you think?
It's kind of what I said before about the trash talk, but it's also it's like a lot of people can't control it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just like they don't think before they do it, right? They just do whatever.
Yeah.
I think that's what the video was that you showed us up there.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's what was happening, just in my opinion. They just kind of lost control and they did whatever they thought was right, or I don't know.
Okay.
But
No, you're right. Like, do you think sometimes kids follow too much of the, like, what everybody else is doing
Yeah.
and stuff like that? You think that's
yeah,
part
I've
of
seen
it?
a few teams that are like, they wear the player number, they do the same moves or celebrate or whatever, and they like act like the player. I know it's like they like them a lot or they're a big fan, but it's like sometimes you gotta
Yeah.
be yourself,
Yeah, no, that's good you said that. Glad you said it. So, and one last thing before we close out of here, but the big talk right now, one of the other talking points in conversations, and especially, like I say, you being a dad with your son in youth basketball, is there's now this huge comparison, and rightfully so, because you do got to acknowledge for it to a degree, is the overseas development of basketball, of youth basketball, in comparison to us in the States and our youth basketball. It's become a pretty hot topic debate because you got the Lukas, the Jokers, the Wembanyama's, the Antetokounmpo. They're in the NBA and they're doing well. And, the youth practices, they definitely emphasize more practice than games. They're huge on stressing the fundamentals more than the flashy stuff, right? And that's becoming a huge debate, like saying, is the overseas model of youth development superior to the U.S. model? And of course, like me personally, because, we're talking about it, my side of it is U.S. still is the superior players, especially because we have a big pool of players. It's for like 400 million people in the U.S., right? You go to Australia, there's like 7 million, right? So our pool is vastly bigger. And I still think we have some of the best natural-born athletes. You know what I mean? We just have such a huge diversity in our athletic abilities. Like, oftentimes, like Anthony Edwards could have been an NFL player or, an NBA player, right? But I do partly agree that some of the developmental practices in these European countries is superior to ours. Mm-hmm. Like the fact that they practice 4 or 5 days a week, that they only play 1 or 2 games in the entire weekend, like that youth athletes can play professional faster, right? Luka was playing pro at age 14. The fact that they primarily don't reclass, they actually play your kid up. If they're really, really good, they say, okay, you killing these 10-year-olds, we're going to put you against 12-years. Oh, you're killing these 12-year-olds? Okay, they put you until it's too challenging for you, or at least to where now you have to work, right? Some of those models, I think, are better than what we do here in the States. I'm just curious on your outlook or your thoughts on any of that stuff.
No, I agree. You can't replace us.
Yeah.
But they're learning the key word, how to play basketball at an early age and fundamentally how to win games.
Yes.
It's why the U.S. had to have one of the most greatest shooters
Yeah.
of all time.
That Olympic team
have
was
the greatest Olympic game ever to beat
Serbia.
Serbia.
Like, you toss that Serbian team in the NBA, they actually probably would be like top 5
No,
or
listen,
top, you know what I mean? Like that
because
actual
they know
Serbian
how to
team.
play basketball.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're decreasing in fundamentals and learning how to play the game. They're increasing on athletic ability, and they're already getting the skill sets.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we got to fix that. Last year we spent the last couple months of the year in Africa. Noah, myself, our family, we went over there and
That's amazing. I remember you talked about that.
yeah, got to just kind of be over there for a minute, man, and get the vibe. I mean, the basketball is picking up over there.
Yeah.
Boris Kojo, one of my really good friends, his son Nico Kojo is playing in Germany on the national team right now. Instead of going to high school, he's doing that.
Yeah.
And I think that's going to be the new wave, which is Nico will probably end up getting drafted before a lot of these players because he's learning how to play at the pro level now.
Yes.
He's experiencing culture in a different way. Yeah, he's a black kid, but he lives in Germany.
Yeah.
Right? And he's doing it completely different. And then he'll come around this other way
Yeah.
that no one's thinking about. That's what I'm saying, well-roundedness. Can you shoot? Can you pass? Can you defend? Can you win? If somebody's open, are you swinging the ball?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's it, man. Like the rest of that stuff, now, if you're confident in who you are, you know you get a bucket whenever you want. But that game is transferable, man. So, yeah, that's why you're seeing more foreign players, less black players.
Yeah.
It's why the game is changing. And in the next 48, next 24 months, you're going to see the game at an all-time global high, which is now you have Korea, China, Africa, Lithuania, Spain, right? France. They're all at the highest level playing basketball. So now those opportunities for that little black boy ain't there no more because they're finding European players that could do a lot of the same things, but also better skilled.
Yeah.
So it's taken away from the Deon Taylors. It's taken away from the Ja Morants. It's taken away from the J.R. Riders, right? The ones that loved it, dunk it, play it every day, but didn't get the coach to be like, no, on a 2-on-1, here's where you go.
Yeah, this is your reads. This is your
you know
looks,
what I mean?
right? Like, yeah.
Yeah, it's changing because that information is not transferable to us. Meanwhile, we looking at these video clips of that.
Yeah, I know.
Them kids at that age is playing pro overseas.
Yeah.
They're learning how to actually articulate. They're learning.
And
listen,
I would be very surprised to see videotapes. I mean, I haven't looked. Maybe I'll do that as another research topic of mine. But I don't see many tapes of overseas youth athletes acting like that.
No, man. And so this year we're taking them to China.
Oh, that'd be
They're
real
going to go
fun.
over to
Feel
China
like
and they're
that.
going to go play because I want them to go see and learn what it looks like when you travel on a global stage, what you're representing, who are you, what are you as a person. And this is a big deal, man. So I said this game is about life. It's not about just, what you did. Did you work hard? Like you asked him some solid questions. How often are you working out?
Yeah.
Man, 1 to 2 hours. Wow, that's amazing.
That is.
That is
for
because
his
that's
age, for sure.
That's why you're jumping past everyone.
Yep.
It's because you're doing that. You're not just sitting back being like, well, I'm gonna get better. But yeah, that I believe that the game is going to a national level.
Yeah.
Everything is global.
Yeah.
Everything is now. And you got to realize, Luka, Wemby, Giannis. Guess what else? They had to learn a different language.
Yeah. On top of everything.
On top of everything else. And a different culture. So
Right.
you sitting up here, it's like we were doing making the movie Black and Blue. And I'm talking to Tyrese, and I'm like, Reese, man, Naomi Harris, bro, like, she going crazy in this scene. He's like, yeah, I gotta. Tyrese like, yeah, I'm gonna, she on it, huh? I'm like, yeah, she on it. But you had to think, like, man, Naomi is from the UK. She had to not only
you're right.
learn how to do an American accent, she had to learn how to be from New Orleans also and do the
And
scene
earn the dialogue,
and
the dialect.
and the dialect
man.
and be a cop on
Right.
top of you doing this movie.
Yeah.
So it lets you know who's studying more. So now when you see Daniel Kaluuya, now when you see all these different, see all these different actors, people like, oh man, I really like Damson Idris, because people didn't even know the leading kid from Snowfall is from London.
Yeah, you're right.
the UK.
You're right. You're right. You're right.
He did that role. So they're studying while we're just taking it for granted.
Yes.
So now, can they ever had a culture like that, that heartbeat? Some people, I think the UK got a lot of energy because they got slums and ghettos and gangs and all the same dumb stuff we got.
You're right.
But man, the fact that they have to study all those things and then come do the job, and then we just show up like, I'm really from here.
Yeah.
That's a different thing. So I think we're gonna see more foreign players doing more electric things, more amazing things. But hopefully, we're also raising a crop of kids now. Noah, JoJo, King Tari, all your kids. Hopefully, we're
that are learning the right
way. That can go beat the brakes off of them.
Yeah, because I agree.
It's still America, bro.
Yeah, man, it's our sport. It still is our
stop
sport.
Stop playing with us, man. Y'all better stop playing with us, bro. Like,
it's still our sport.
Hey, man,
but it's like, I call a lot of it out on my show, but I challenge coaches, to fight the status quo and be different. That's where I try to be different. Like, just so you understand, like, my perspective as a coach. We do the fundamental drills, the boring stuff, you might say, that I know kids need to learn. Like, we do a bunch of pass and cut drills, scoring without the ball, that type of stuff. You know what I mean? Which isn't always the funnest drills. Let's be real. You kids love to do the 3-on-2s, the 1-on-1s. Like, we get it, but that's not basketball, right? You got to learn how to score without the ball in your hand. You got to learn how, if you cut and cut away, it opens up a drive for the guy with the ball, so then he can drive and attack to kick it out to somebody else. So your cut actually created that whole offense, but you didn't even touch the ball, right?
Yeah.
I have to teach my kids that, right?
And I'm just gonna shoot it.
Yeah.
While y'all doing all that,
that's why I'm like, that's why I'm trying to tell you guys, like, European style practices and their youth sports, that's what they're teaching. And they're not just doing it 2 days a week. They're doing it 4 or 5 days a week.
And from an early age, man. I know when I was in Europe playing, like, Germany was the best stop for me because I know
you saw it out there.
All the club teams under me were great. So they had 13, 14-year-olds playing pro, 15, 16-year-olds playing pro, 18, 19. So then I'm on the highest division. So I'm like, this is crazy. And every now and again on one of our games, there would be a 15-year-old kid on the bench with me. And I'm like, what is he doing?
And they're like, he's here to learn.
No, he's here to learn. He's going to get in the game. He's going to play in that environment. And that's how they're doing it. And then, obviously, Dirk, at the time when I was playing, Dirk was all of Germany. But they always learning how to come off that bench and play and put their leg up and all that good stuff. So, anyways, all right, we got to roll.
Oh, yeah, I know. You got to get out of here. So, but let me get my outro. Again, no, thanks for
like this when the music plays.
thanks for coming, man. I always appreciate you, man. And thanks you guys for taking the time. If you listen to the end, you're a real one. Again, do the HBO special, help a brother out. Hit that like and subscribe. Do you have any quick shout outs or anything you want to say real quick?
Shout out to my daughter Milan, and shout out to Big Shady, my son Aiden. Big Papa Shady, man. We love you, man.
What about you, Noah? Any shout outs, man?
My mom.
Of course, that's good. Smart kid. Anybody else?
Mama Roxanne. Who else?
What, any of your teammates, your coaches? What?
JoJo, King Tari, Alan.
Okay. You sure? That's it?
Chris,
right.
Corey, Coach Marcus.
I know, I'm just giving you a hard time, man. No, you did really good. Noah, you did, man. Like, again, it could be a little intimidating sitting here trying to talk and articulate, but you did really good. You did, man. And hopefully you look back at this when you're like 18, 19 and go, man, that was fun. And I do hope that it all works. Everything you want out of this game works out for you. Also, quick shout out to my sponsors real quick before I forget. Dr. Dish, best shooting machine on the market. If you are looking for a shooting machine, hit them up. Tell them About That Life sent you. They'll hook you up with a discount. And also, if you are looking for good basketball tournaments, go to Hardwood Palace. They are very consistent. They've been doing this a long time. They have a lot of different levels. They have, tough level basketball to rec level basketball, like anything you're looking for your basketball needs. Please go check Hardwood Palace out. Talk to Grant or Steve. Tell them About That Life sent you. They'll hook you up with a quick discount for your first tournament. And outside of that, hopefully this is still helping you. Hopefully everybody is enjoying their holidays. Enjoy the new year. Step into 2025 positive with good vibes and you know, praying for everybody out there and your basketball journey. Hit me up, DM me. If you got any questions, I do respond. You know, I ain't no damn celebrity. I'm just a guy that talks on a mic. Thank you again for you guys coming through. Really appreciate it. And we are out.
It's the freestyle session now?
Yeah. Go ahead. Let's see what you got.
I'm out of here. I'm out of here. I'm out of here.
Your dad goofy, man. I know he look at it like, man, my dad damn embarrassing me,
I'm
man.
out of here, man. We gone, man.